You see, that's the problem. That's the problem with all of this. You can't take it away from him and add it on to yourself. You can't eliminate him and magically take on his genital striving appeal, the magnetism, the dynamism to the women. The visual, I'm talking about the chemistry. I'm using other terms to describe it. And we're again going to the visuals. We're again going to the phenotype. That's the bodily presentation, the total bodily presentation in a social situation. That's how you move, how you talk. Show business, my friend. It's showtime out there. It's competitive. It's visual. What are you going to do? You're going to do what Elliot Rodger did, a day of retribution, kill everybody? What are you going to do? It's competitive. You only have yourself to work with. Now you take me. I'm 5'3.5", 46-inch fat gut. Big fat face, moon face, no neck. Gross large features. I'm bald headed and I've got Ishka Bibble flyaway hair. The first thing you have to do is call it on yourself. Because I guarantee you your neighbor will one way or another call it on you. What am I talking about? Step by step, methodically. Now you're not going to hear this from a Tony Robbins or his ilk. Step by step by agonizing step, you're going to have to know yourself. You're going to have to march right into the Aegean stables of your being, your mind and your body being the engrams that are locked in there, subject to being re-stimulated at any time. Very similar to an addiction with that monkey hiding in the corner, you understand. And you think you've got the monkey. You say, I'm in control, I'm the boss here, I'm the master, I can stop her, I can do whatever I want. Bullshit! Under the right conditions, under the right re-stimulation, that monkey comes out of the hiding place. He's never gone. That monkey's hiding in the corner. And he has the power. He has the access from the inside. He's working you from the inside. Now you can call it the hypnosis of life. You can call it the negative suggestions you're picking up of yourself from your body language, slouching, your bad posture, your deference, your humility. Some men give other men too much respect. Some men are too deferent. Some men are too accepting, too agreeable for their own good. Some men forgot or never learned how to assert themselves and ask for what they want in the clearest, most concise way possible. What else can you do? Good example. Your stranger was at a party. This is 25. And oh my goodness, I'm 75 now. Damn, I must be getting old. This was in holy smokes, 1973, my friend. 1973, nearly 50 years ago, but your stranger remembers the incident as if it were today. I was at a party. This is during the sexual revolution. You understand? Free sex and all that crap without all the complications. Ask for what you want, you got it. It's cool. For that one window of opportunity right there, when all the dogmatic, theocratic, absolute judgment, morality, and ethics was challenged, and that crap had to be challenged. So I was at this party. Everyone is fucking having a good time. Not everyone, some. Not everyone, I wasn't. But your pretty boy. And there's always cliques. Now get this. And there is always, in most cases, an imbalance. More men than women. More men than women. So what happens on this occasion? A pretty boy, Gary B. No, I'm going to say the name. Gary Broughton. Gary Broughton. And Gary went 6'3". He was what women call a chick magnet. He comes to the party with a beautiful Monica. Whoa, man. Everything going. Wow. And as usual with assholes like Gary Brotherton or Broughton. I call her Bum Broughton. What happens in that situation is, of course, pure narcissist. Pure narcissist. Everything centers around this asshole. So he takes Monica into the bathroom and they fuck. It's just plain and simple. But when Broughton gets his release, let's put it that way, he's finished with Monica, that's it. She's still horny. Now you're beginning to see where the stranger's getting to. Everybody's been smoking, they've been doing drugs or whatever they've been doing. And everybody's passing out. Brotherton passed out a long time ago, but Monica's still awake. And she wants release, she wants sexuality, and there comes your dad. Only I could be so stupid. And your stranger's a singer. So I was with Monica, and Monica was making a move on me. She put her hand on my inner thigh. That's a good cue. And rubbed it. That's a good cue. I said, man, Brotherton's asleep. Everybody's passing out. I look into this. I'm going to look into something great. It's the only time when it would make sense that a man who looks like me gets something like that. Top quality. Great body, incredible body. If I say it, it's true. If I say it, if I tell you that, you'll take it to the bank because it's true. So what happens? Somebody asks me to sing. And in my stupidity, in my vanity, in my lack of experience, I breaks contact with Monica. Now you know what's going to happen next. I gets up to sing and I sings terrible. Ah, damn, I sings terrible. Terrible. One of my many bad performances on YouTube. This was the worst. But while I'm up there singing, some other asshole moves in on Monica because he saw what happens, you see. And he moves in. But the story gets much worse. This is Bruce. Bruce is a homosexual. Bruce is a homosexual. So he sits next to Monica, and he moved in on me. He horned in on me while I sang. And he's sitting there, all that son of a bitch is doing is stroking Monica's face and brushing her hair. God damn. So I comes back, and I'm waiting all night long. Bruce was going to leave. Everybody's sleeping. It's just Bruce, the Brucer, myself, and Monica, the beautiful Monica. Bruce won't leave. He's stroking her hair like a sissy, like a girl. Stroking her hair, brushing her cheek and caressing her. Cuddling. Cuddling is the word. Now, if it had been me, I would have gone to work. You can bet that. I have the best hands in the business. I'm from New York. I'd have gone right to work on it. I'd have known what to do. But I'm waiting like a gentleman for the Barossa to leave. 1 hour goes by, 2 hours, 3 hours. All that time the Barossa's cuddling and brushing Monica's hair and brushing her cheek and all that bullshit. What I should have done. And I never did it. I pretended to be asleep. I was hoping the Barossa would get discouraged and leave, but he never did. He was getting off on the cuddling and the caressing. I waits all night. What I should have done, what I would have done. Now what I would advise you to do is ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. What I should have done, for one thing, you were with her first. This asshole horned in on you. You comes right up and you says, ignore that asshole. And you look at Monica and you should have said, or I should have said, this is what I would tell myself. This is what I would do could I go back to 1973. I would have said, Monica, let's fuck. Let's fuck, I want to fuck you, Monica. Let's fuck. You come right in front of that homosexual Bruce and take him out like a man. But what did I do? I was a bigger sissy than Bruce was. You see that? Only I, in my ilk, in my infinite stupidity, lack of experience, inferiority complex, because I was so stunned, so shocked. How could a man, a short little ugly man like me, get Monica, the beautiful Monica? And by the way, Bruce was taller than me, better looking. I have to add that, the homosexual Bruce. This wouldn't have happened if the stud, Gary, 6'3", perfect head of hair, chick magnet. No woman says no to Gary. He looked like little like John Stamos. Damn John Stamos. Pretty boy Stamos. This wouldn't have happened. I just lucked into it, you understand that. But you'll have to ask. My point of all this is, at this gross example, you have to ask for what you want. You don't have time. 1 hour, 2 hours, too late. You let too much time go by. You let the Borussia build the momentum. And you got more, as the hours ticked on, you became more and more discouraged, despondent, and hopeless. And then the opportunity was gone. So what does I do? I sees Monica during the week, and I try to ask for a date. She tells me no. She wasn't physically attracted to me, but she was horny. This is what I'm saying, and I was there. So what, my friend? So what if you're a human dildo? So what? You get that action for yourself any way you can. Don't stand on ceremonies, my friend. Don't compare yourself. Don't do what Elliot Rodger did that led to the day of retribution. Nobody talks about it. He thought he had an entitlement. He thought because his father was a big shot. He thought he had an entitlement because he drove around in BMW and wore fancy Hugo Boss shirt, Neiman Marcus slacks. You're saying fancy Gucci glasses, and came from a very fine, wealthy family. And then look around at the Isla Vista, Santa Barbara campus, day of retribution, Elliot Rodger, serial killer. And he sees jocks on athletic jocks on a t-shirt and a skateboard, and they're scoring easily. He sees them chatting up the tall blondes, the sexually incredibly looking blondes. I know what the kid's talking about. And he sees the jock, the brute, obnoxious jock. This is not my words. This is Elliot Rodger's words, The Day of Retribution. Elliot Rodger, The Manifesto. That's what I'm talking about. You can download it and read it. You should read it. It should be required reading. Elliot Rodger, The Manifesto. My Manifesto. My Twisted World, etc. The Manifesto. He's only 18. He can't cope with it. But he's 5'4". But come to find out, in addition to being 5'4", he's very puny, pukey, and weak. But in addition to that, Elliot Rodger, you didn't tell me in your autobiography, The Manifesto, you never told me you're microphallus. How come I don't know that? That changes the scene entirely. A microphallus, and the jocks are much better endowed. We get nowhere bullshitting around with the facts. This is my point. Your stranger tells it just like it is. And I'm cleaning it up, of course, for YouTube. I'm using a lot of euphemisms where if I was talking to you directly, I would not do that. You understand that? So you have to read between the lines of what your stranger's telling you. The bottom line, again and again I say it, get yourself in the shape of your life. It's showtime out there. Get yourself fighting tough. Drive iron or whatever you do. Core strength, and brute power, those two go together. Work out, train out, do whatever it takes to, like Rocky Marciano, the great heavyweight champion. Rocky Marciano said, when I train, there's only one purpose. Well, what's that purpose, Mr. Marciano, heavyweight champion of the world in the 50s? To, like a sponge, Marciano said, I squeeze out in training every drop of fear, of intimidation, until it's gone. I train it out. That's what you have to do, my short, small friend. That's what you have to do, and then you can go out there. Then you have the cojones to do the right thing for yourself. You have to ask for what you want in as clear, definitive terms as possible. You have to be positive in your posture and your body language, and certain you're going to get it, with the understanding you don't have to get it, with the understanding you see no means no, with the understanding that woman has a prerogative, she has choice, and in a lot of cases it doesn't include us. We accept that. You hear what I'm telling you? We accept that. And we say, well, this is one I could never have. And we move on. We can only do that if we have a stable, that we can, any woman we can go to in a pinch for sexual relief and release. I don't care what she looks like. You have that in your back pocket. You hear what I'm telling you? You can't wishful think it away. You can't go to Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins, like Shallow Hal said in that elevator scene, Tony Robbins, I want something big. I want something beautiful. I want something like Sasha, like you have. Help me, Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins looked down at the smaller man, 5 feet 5 inches, put his hand on my man's head, cup his head in his hand, bend his head down with them big hands and those big choppers. He looked down on my man, and he's got biomechanical advantage, physical advantage over that man. He lowered him down, and you manhandle him. They're trapped in the elevator in that position of humility, of insult, of Tony Robbins effeminizing my man. You heard what I'm telling you? He talks into him. What does he tell him? Shallow Hal. See the beauty inside. Don't look for the beauty on the outside, Shallow. See the beauty inside. From now on, Shallow Hal, every woman's going to be beautiful. To you, Shallow Hal, every woman's going to look like the young Sophia Loren, Shallow Hal. Then he leaves. When he gets out of the elevator, you can imagine. Tony Robbins, worth over $500 million. He walk out to his young wife, Sasha. And what is she? What do I see? She's a blonde. She's beautiful. Tony Robbins, why can't you apply your own philosophy to yourself, Tony Robbins? You telling me that? How about you? Hey, Tony, can you make me tall like you bum? Now, again, I reiterate, if he had done that to Tony the Ant Spilotro, the mobster, he had a killer temper. Tony the Ant Spilotro, he was nicknamed the Ant because he was my height. About 5'4", they call him the Ant. You picture Tony Robbins trying to manhandle Tony Spilotro? Before that elevator reached the the bottom floor, Tony Ramos would be lying on the ground of that elevator in a pool of blood. Spilotro would have blown him away, and I don't blame him. You don't put up with an insult like that, a bum like this effeminizing you. I've seen this. I've seen this in the Bronx. I've seen it in Brooklyn. I've seen it in Manhattan. I've seen it on the streets. Yes, I have. Over and over again.